Welcome to Jets Overtime. We are presented by SiriusXM. Eric Allen here at MetLife Stadium with Quincy Enunwa and Isaiah Williams. The New York Jets take down the Cleveland Browns by a 27-20 count today. And Isaiah, you played a huge role in that. Take us through your punt return to the house.
Man, the biggest thing was going into this game, we knew we was facing a good defense. So on special teams, we knew we had to make some plays. So every time I touched the rock, I was just like, I'm trying to make a play for the team, go score. That was my first one in my life, return touchdown. So, man, it was special. It was special.
So after Kane got his, what did you say to him? Because obviously he got the Jets on the board today. Wyan Wu going to the house himself.
It's crazy. Coach Banjo, right after the play, he came up to me. Hey, it's your turn now. It's your turn. But my biggest thing was just like, I was out there when he scored, so my biggest thing was like, I'm trying to make a play. I'm trying to make a block for you. And then after he scored, that just had the energy going. I'm like, oh, yeah, it's my turn now. Let's go.
Yeah, absolutely, man. As an undrafted guy, man, I know it's tough to get in the league and really make a name for yourself. But the last 2 weeks, you've been balling, man. Where does that come from? Where's that drive to really make those plays come from?
For me, it's my faith.
Yeah.
And just keeping my eyes focused on my Father. You know what I'm saying? And every single day going through the fire. Like, the last 2 weeks, that's been my focus, like going through the fire so I come out like gold. So every day at practice, every opportunity that I get to grow, like I'm going straight through it. I ain't running from nothing. And I just been growing. And with the growth, been able to make some more plays.
Speaking of the growth, man, I mean, you are a great example of keeping your head down and working, because not too long ago, people are looking at the Miami game where you made a couple mistakes and saying, why is this guy here? And instead of going down and being in a black hole, you've ascended since then. What has been the key?
I think that moment freed me from people.
Really?
Because when you get to a point where like people knocking you down, you like, okay, like, because when I was up, they loved me. When I was down, so I feel like it freed me from people. So now I'm able to just go out there and just be me. Like, and every single opportunity I get, I'm just making a play. I'm trying to glorify my Father every single opportunity I get, and that's my focus. So now I'm not worried about what everybody else think about me. You know what I'm saying? Because I know who I am.
Yeah, the special teams unit has been crazy this year, man. I think Chris Banjo has done an amazing job. What can you say about him as a coach? Not only as a coach, but also as a former player who's a coach.
He understands, one, and he instilled belief in us. Like, every single meeting, that's where we start with belief. And, like, God's really starting to believe. You start to say something for so long, you really start to believe, like, hey, we could go do this. And, I mean, it showed today. Like, had 2 return touchdowns. Special teams played great. But I feel like it's starting the meeting room with him just instilling belief in us. Like, we could do this. We could be the guys that make a difference in this game.
All right, we're watching you take it to the house here. And I'm going to ask you to break it down in a second. But speaking of belief, collectively, what can you say about the team, the way you guys responded since coming back from the bye? Because on Tuesday, you traded a couple of big-time contributors in the defensive side of the ball, and Sauce Gardner and Quinnen Williams. And I think the fan base, the nation was wanting to know, how is this group going to respond to it? And this is what you showed.
Yeah, I mean, for the biggest thing for us is we understand God got a plan for everybody. And we understand this week, the guys that was in that room, them the guys that's supposed to be in that room. So, and we feel like we all we need. Like, the guys that's in this room, we got more than enough to go take care of what need to be taken care of.
What did you think of Breece's game-winning touchdown catch, where he catches the short pass? You guys beat the cover 0 blitz, and I said Breece Lightning off to the races.
Man, Breece special. We see it every day in practice. The way he work, the way he just keep going. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm motivated by him every single day. But I mean, that's what he do. Like, that's what he bring to the game. He's special, and he just make plays.
All right, so we're watching Breece right now, but I'm telling everybody in the back right now to dial up your punt return, because I want you to take us through it from the moment that you're back there and you actually get your hands underneath the football and then start moving to the right.
Okay.
All right, guys, fire that up for us. I threw a curveball at you, but here it is.
So the first thing, just catch the ball. It was a low line driver. Had to just make the first guy miss. Then after that, I mean, the blockers took care of everything else. I really ain't have to do much but just run.
Great vision, honestly.
Yeah, but I mean, honestly, after making that first guy miss, it was literally like green grass. Like, I just had to hit it, run as fast as I can. I mean, the blockers, they really did all the work, and I just kind of ran.
You got to point out the Jet celebration at the end, right? That's good that you're bringing that back, that nostalgia. You got an old school coach, former Jet. Now we got the current Jets doing the Jet celebration as well.
Yeah, Mando. I already knew, when I got my first touchdown, that's the first celebration for sure.
So you just got out of the winning locker room. I was there in Cincinnati after you guys came back from 15-point deficit. We're getting set up here. There you are celebrating that touchdown. What was it like in the locker room this time around?
Just like that. A lot of energy. I mean, the emotions just high, man. Like, everybody believe in that locker room. Like, we believe, like, we really turning this around. We doing something special right now. We really believe, like, we got all we need in the building.
You know what was impressive today, I thought, about your effort was that AG had talked about playing supportive football, like you guys were doing that, but you weren't necessarily playing complimentary football. And today I thought you played complimentary football to its fullest.
100%. And that was the one thing he talked about before we hit the field today. Yeah. AG, it was like, for the longest we were playing supportive football, now let's play complimentary. And, I mean, I feel like when the coach put an emphasis on something, the group of guys we just going to go do it on the field.
Isaiah Williams, hell of a job.
Yes,
you are a testament to hard work. And listen, persevering, overcoming things, and look at where you are today. A big part of the Jets special teams. Congratulations on the win. Go celebrate this one the rest of the night. Let's hear from Jets head coach Aaron Glenn.
Comes with the injuries. 2, we had Garrett. He just came back on his knee, came down on his knee, the same knee that he injured before. And AZ will be going through the protocol. All right, so this will be tough going to a short week. But when we evaluate him and see how he is, as we move forward. When it comes to the game, tough, hard-fought game. Give those guys a lot of credit, which I know Coach Stefanski, he does a really good job with those guys. And I know that he's trying to navigate through the quarterback situation that he has going on. But when it comes to our guys, man, just all during the week, man, so much noise. It's really not by those guys in the locker room. Those guys just stay focused. They let everything that they just block all that crap out, man. They just go and they play football. One thing that we're trying to do, we're trying to build something. And I've said this from the beginning. There has to be a foundation that has to be set. And, man, these guys understand that. And we're trying to build that foundation and get to where it's stable. Because I truly believe is once you build a foundation, if it's truly stable, then you can sustain winning. And that's what we're trying to accomplish. And listen, we know we have a long way to go. And we have a lot of work to do, on both sides of the ball. But I'll tell you what, our special teams really gave us a spark today. And that's what we need. And that's what I talk about playing complementary football, when all 3 phases can go out there and play. But today was really supportive football again. And listen, our special teams did a hell of a job. So I give a lot of credit to Coach Banjo and Coach O'Day. Man, it was special to see both of those guys because both of those guys have had some issues, up to this point with Kane with some of his injuries in I3, what happened early in the season, and he's just turned himself around. And that's the power of believing in your players. And don't let the noise that everybody wants to talk about these guys, let that bother you. And just trust those guys and build those guys up and keep developing those guys. That's what we try to do. So. But tough game, good win, going to a short week. Looking forward to going against a team that's leading our division right now. So we got to be ready for this one. Any questions?
Jets fans, clear the runway at MetLife Stadium for Week 13 as the New York Jets take on the Atlanta Falcons. Sunday, November 13th at 1 p.m. presented by New Jersey Lottery. Lock in your seats now at nyjets.com/tickets. Eric Allen and Quincy Enunwa here at MetLife Stadium. The New York Jets take down the Cleveland Browns by a 27-20 score. Like AG was just mentioning, outstanding performance by the special teams. Yeah. But defense was really good as well. How would they respond without a Sauce Gardner or a Quinnen Williams? Well, I'll tell you what, up front, Will McDonald, 4 sacks, and the Jets had 6 sacks in all.
Yeah, definitely. And you talk about some other guys that had injuries. A.Z. Thomas was showing up in the beginning of the game, had a couple impact tackles, a couple impact PBUs as well. And obviously he came out, but then guys just stepped up. And that's one of the things about this AG coach defense, AG coach team in general, is guys are continuously stepping up. Whatever their name is called, they're showing up. And this was a great job today. They want to continue to do this throughout the season. They started off pretty slow offensively, but in the end, Breece Hall came through. You got to rely on your workhorse, and he did exactly what he needed to do for this team.
That ties a franchise record in terms of sacks in a game. There it is. Will McDonald, 4 sacks all over the place. Dylan Gabriel is going to be seeing Will the Thrill in his sleep tonight. There's no doubt about that. But complimentary football, big point of emphasis there for Aaron Glenn. And we saw that today from the Jets. Special teams gets them on the board with a pair of touchdowns. And then this game's like in a slugfest there early in the fourth quarter, and the offense came alive, and Breece Hall takes over. Yeah,
honestly, that fourth quarter was all about who's going to make the most of their opportunities. The Jets decided to go straight run game. On that last drive, they ran, and they said, you know what, we're going to screen you to death. Screen to Breece Hall. A great job finding the hole. I mean, listen, man, Tanner Armstrong knew what he needed to do in that fourth quarter to make some plays happen, and Breece Hall knows what to do with the ball in his hands. They have an amazing player. This is the reason why they didn't get rid of him at the trade deadline. You can't get rid of a player like that, man. He makes plays for your team. He shows up, and he's a leader. We heard Isaiah Williams talk about his work ethic in practice. That's a guy that you want to be here for a long time.
All right, let's look at that game summary, and then we'll get into the turning point of this ball game. I want to look back because when we're speaking about this game, the Jets had less than 200 yards of offense, but the defense kept the Browns at bay long enough before they were able to get over the hump.
Yeah, I mean, special teams, I think, was the biggest key to this game, honestly, right? You talk about Kene Nwangwu with a great return. You talk about Isaiah Williams with another great return. Back-to-back, that allows you to kind of take a breather, right? When the offense isn't able to show up the way that you need them to, defense is slowing down their offense, and then the special teams is making plays, not just making plays, but putting points on the board, right? So you have the touchdowns, you have field goals. It's exactly complementary football. And, again, this team shows up in the fourth quarter. They did that again today.
Man, Chris Banjo, that's a hell of a hire by Aaron Glenn. Yeah. His units have been getting it done throughout the year. Nick Folk adds a field goal there. And here's the game winner at 17-17, and we're going to break this down here in a little bit. But Hall just turns on the Jets, no pun intended, into the end zone. And there's Aaron Glenn giving him a big hug. And then finally, Folk ends the scoring for the Jets with the field goal. That actually gave the green and white a 10-point lead. Cleveland would come down and cut the deficit to 7 on a field goal, but it was interesting. How far have the Jets come? 4th and 4. They line up for it. They're up 27-20. It looks like Cleveland's going to get the ball back one final time. Who jumps off sides? The Browns.
Yeah, man. I mean, I think one thing that we've been noticing about this team is they're really a second-half team. And at first it was not, they weren't figuring it out soon enough. But now you see that really what they're doing is figuring out what the other team is giving to you. And in that second half, they completely shut things down. You saw last time that they played against the Bengals. They shut down whatever the Bengals were doing in the past game and allowed them to score all those points in the fourth quarter. And then today it's the same thing. The Bengals had some good drives. Obviously, they were aided by some penalties from the defense, but they still had something going. In that second half, it was completely shut down. Punt in the third quarter, and in the fourth quarter, they couldn't figure it out.
It's hard winning the National Football League, but it's a hell of a lot easier if you have a guy like Breece Hall in your backfield. Let's get to the turning point right now, Q.
Yeah, the turning point, baby. So we're going to also break this down. But listen, this is a great play by Breece Hall and a great play overall by the offensive line, the receivers, right? Anytime you have a big play like that, everybody is involved, especially on screen plays, because it's got to look like a pass play. So the receivers have to push off the ball, make sure the defense is getting back, creating some more space, and then you got to get those offensive linemen getting out on the corner, getting out on the edge, and making those blocks for you.
The Jets needed a huge effort out of Hall today. Unfortunately, they lost Garrett Wilson there in the second half. There's Hall, who goes for, a combined 125 yards and a 1 touchdown. Breece Hall is becoming Mr. Fourth Quarter. 4 touchdowns in the fourth quarter the last 2 games. See, the 2 rush touchdowns against the Bengals, then the touchdown pass to Mason Taylor for the game winner, and then he gets into the act in the receiving game. That's the thing, is that he can hurt you in so many different ways.
Yeah, man, that's the complete back. We talk about Christian McCaffrey before, right? I think Breece Hall is right there in that upper echelon. Obviously, he doesn't always get the opportunities that he deserves to get. But this guy, when you give him as many opportunities as he needs, he shows up for you. Whether it's passing the ball like we saw against the Bengals, catching the ball like he does every game, or just using his feet and running, he's just an all-complete back.
Will McDonald today tied for a franchise high in terms of sacks in a game with 4. Our Caroline Hendershot caught up with him after this one.
Here with Will McDonald. Will, you came into today's game with 3 sacks, and then you get 4. What was working so well for you today?
Just keep being relentless. It's really like the only one word I got for you. Just keep being relentless. Don't nobody really want to stand in your way. You keep being relentless.
6 sacks total, 1 from Jermaine as well, 1 from Quincy Williams. What did that say about this defense, just not letting up in kind of the wake of the chaos of this week?
I mean, we kind of been had it like this. We just had to, put it all together, you know what I'm saying? It's just, we still got a lot of things that we need to work on. We let him out a couple of times, so, but I got to get a glory to us, though, and I got to get a glory to God. He the one that put us in this position, but we just got to keep working on that. 6 sacks, that's good. But, again, it could be more than that. So, yeah, we definitely showed up.
Now, this team, do you feel like it's starting to click in a different way after this bye week?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's been this way. We just had to, put it all together, you got one time where people hate you, then you got another time where somebody will love you. So, again, at the end of the day, we been had it like this, don't nobody know what's going on behind the scenes, but, we putting it all together, so, again, we'll be just fine going down the season.
Awesome. Appreciate the time, Will. Thanks.
Appreciate y'all.
You're watching Jets Overtime presented by SiriusXM. I'm Eric Allen here with Quincy Enunwa at MetLife Stadium. The Jets have won 2 games in a row. It's going to be a tough ask to get 3 in a row, but let's celebrate this one here today. A 27-20 victory over the Browns. They're going to face the Patriots, but what would you rather have? Challenge yourself against the best team in the AFC East right now. And, we talk about it all the time before we get to your telestration, is that anything really can happen to this league. So Q and I are watching the game in the press conference, press box, wow, you see the score of the Bills-Dolphins game?
Right.
So Buffalo was 7-2, and they go into Miami today, and I think they lost by a 30-13 score.
Yeah, anything can happen. Any given Sunday, there's a reason why that's a quote in the NFL. So I think you just have to continue playing the way you have the last 2 weeks. I think, obviously, there are some things that you have to clean up. But if special teams can play the way they play today and have continued to play all season, if defense can show up and be relentless, like Will McDonald said, and offense can continue to find ways to get their playmakers the ball, it's a good chance for you to stay in the game. And maybe you pull out a win just like the Dolphins did today.
Yeah, man. Let's go into New England and get a victory. But first, I want to jump into my favorite part of Jets Overtime. That is your telestration.
Yes, sir. Some good plays today, honestly.
And, of course, we're going to start with special teams on a special day here at MetLife Stadium.
Yeah. So we got a lot of Isaiah wins. So right now we're going to go with Kene Wanwu. What a great job by him reading his blocks. But one guy I want to highlight on this one here will be Andrew Beck, right? You talk about a guy that you bring into this team for his special teams prowess. We saw a little bit of him in the preseason with him doing some great jobs in the offensive side. But here he did a good job with some of his blocks on the special team side. So look here, it's a middle return. So you're going to see everybody making a gap right in the middle so you can get down that jet sign in the middle of the field. It's a good job of everybody staying on their man. This new kickoff return is tough because you have to find those windows and you don't have a lot of space to make your blocks. So good job reading these blocks, and then right there, boom, you have Andrew Beck kicking out a guy, double team, and then Kene Wanwu uses that speed to get past everybody. Nobody's going to catch him. This is his second touchdown. Last year when we first saw him, he made a great play. Then on this one here, this is the Breece Hall play, baby. This is a great job all around from everybody. I'm just going to let it run real quick, and then I'm going to talk about it a little bit. But, yeah, Breece Hall, man, he's a hell of a player, one of the better players in this league, and he showed it today, especially in that fourth quarter. So, again, like I talked about before, it's a screenplay. Good job by Justin Fields taking in there to get that ball out there. And then you got your big guys. Look at Jonathan Simpson right here with a black back block. And listen, you got to do whatever you can. We got a pancake out there as well. And then you got the big guys running down the field. Elephants on parade.
Nice job, Breece Hall, Mr. Fourth Quarter. Hey, he got the caravan, and he doesn't need too much space to get in the end zone. Let's look at the upcoming schedule. Jets have a really condensed week, a couple days of preparation before that game against the Patriots, then a little bit of a mini bye before a date with the Ravens in Baltimore before Atlanta coming to MetLife Stadium on November 30th. And the Jets have payback on their minds December 7th when Miami returns to town. But I've got that Thursday night date with the Patriots circled because this is going to be a hell of a test for a Jets young team that handled adversity awfully well this week.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a sign of them showing the tale of two halves of a season, right? We talk about tale of two halves of a game, right? That second half, they tend to show up. How are they going to show up in the second half of this season? I think this is a great opportunity for them to show that what they put on tape in the first half of the season is not who they are. They talk about, this is not who we are, this is not who we are. Now they get a chance to show it against some good teams.
And so this week started in earnest on Tuesday. NFL trade deadline was 4 p.m. local time, Eastern Standard Time, and the Jets made the two mega deals. Sauce Gardner going to Indianapolis. They get 2 first-round picks in return. Adonai Mitchell as well. That's a guy who was inactive today for the Green and White, so hopefully we'll see him soon. And then here's the draft capital of 2026 and 2027 because the Jets, just a few moments after, about an hour after announcing the trade of Gardner to Indianapolis, they sent Quinnen Williams, the veteran defensive tackle, to Dallas. In return, they get a second-round pick this year, a first-round pick in 2027, and Mozzie Smith as well. So you took 2 guys who are fixtures of this defense for a while out of the lineup, and you wanted to see how this team would respond. And how would they respond to Aaron Glenn? And I think, listen, we know that Cleveland's a struggling outfit as well. Came in this game 2-6 and had lost their last 12 consecutive road games. But with that being said, the Jets really rallied together here today.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think at the end of the day, they are an NFL team. It's like that argument of garbage time stats. I don't believe that that's a real thing, right? At the end of the day, these teams are continuing to play throughout all quarters. In the fourth quarter, you know that this team is going to continue to strive to win, so there is no garbage time, especially against the Jets. Now, when you talk about a team that's 2-7, 2-8, the Browns are still an NFL team and still very capable of getting wins and playing well. They almost beat the Patriots the last time they were on the field, right? So this is a team that you still have to take serious. So the defense showed up, and that's a testament to what AG and Darren Muji have done by putting guys out there that they're confident in will still be able to perform.
Yeah, before we start talking a little bit about Nick Mangold on a very special day here at MetLife Stadium, you think about it. A.Z. Thomas started his second consecutive game. Unfortunately, he went out for the Green and White. And you saw Jarvis Brownlee, another trade acquisition of Darren Muji. He was playing nickel, and then he moves to the outside. You started Malachi Moore, the rookie out of Alabama, a 4th-round pick, 5th-round pick. He leads the team in tackles today.
Wow.
You had Michael Walker lining up to Jamie Sherwood. And how was the guy like veteran linebacker Quincy Williams going to respond today? He was all over the place again.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the defense did exactly what they needed to do. And how about Malachi Moore, honestly, right? I mean, you talk about a guy that came in, they drafted him to be a safety. Something happens, you got to go out there and do what you got to do. And that's a hell of a player there, a guy that can go out there, you can plug and play. AG talked so highly of him in the offseason, and now we get to see why exactly that is. Jarvis Brownlee, what a great acquisition just a few weeks ago, a guy that you can put out there at the corner. He had Jerry Jeudy on lock a couple times, right? It was a battle for him as a smaller corner to play outside. It's not easy, but he did his job. He did exactly what they needed him to do.
Yeah, Malachi Moore, my apologies, 4th-round pick. I knew it was a 4th or 5th-round pick. But that's what we continue to see here from the Jets 2025 draft class. You're getting contributions all over the place. You got young players playing now. You have capital moving forward. The Jets said it from the get after these trades. The goal is still to win now. So these are very important games down the stretch for the Green and White. Lastly, we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about our friend, our brother, our teammate, Nick Mangold today. It was a special day here at MetLife Stadium. We saw 74 everywhere. I got the shirt on. You have the pin. We saw people with the backwards hats. We had the flags coming out. We had DeBrickashaw Ferguson on pregame central. He also addressed the MetLife Stadium faithful here, the Green and White faithful, prior to the game. And we heard salutes from the fans throughout this game for 4 quarters today. In fact, during the driving rain after the Jets' 27-20 victory, Yeah, people were chanting his name. So he's got an unbelievable legacy, and the team did him proud today.
Yeah, absolutely. Second week in a row. Obviously, last time we played is when we first found out. And these guys showed up, and that's huge, right? I think, especially as a former player, got to play with him. I love to see the team go out there and play for this guy. You had so many guys wearing the shirts, and a lot of them didn't know him, right? But just to wear that, Jeremy Rucker to wear his college jersey, there's a lot of tributes out there, and I know his family is happy to see that. They know that his impact is huge, and that's a small consolation in this whole thing because you lost a great man.
Yeah, we miss him. We're always going to miss him, but we'll always honor Nick. And the Jets did him proud today. Number 74, forever Jet. For a cast of thousands here at MetLife Stadium, we thank everybody for their continued support of this show and Quincy as well. And Nick, we love you, man. They got one for you.